Hey, welcome back to Electrically Constructed. I'm Master Electrician Seth Eckel, and today we are starting our series number 2, our pole box series. Okay, so you're going to want to get out your code book. If you don't have a code book, as always, I got a link below you can click on and order a code book if you need one. But if you have one, get it out, and we are going to be in Article 314.28. And this is the pole box series, so this is where pre-planning really starts to pay off. In this series, our objective, we want to learn how to identify straight poles, U-poles, angle poles. We want to be able to apply all our code rules to those poles, and we want to be able to identify violations before they happen. All right, so yeah, let's get out our code books and let's get going. All right, let's open our code books and get to Article 314.28, pole and junction boxes and conduit bodies. And let's highlight that right away. Alright, and this says boxes and conduit bodies used as pole or junction boxes shall comply with 314.28a through 314.28e. Alright. We are going to be focused on 314.28a1 today. We're going to focus our calculation on the straight pole. All right, but let's read 314.28a first. It's going to tell us most of the rule, why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, A says minimum size for raceways containing conductors of 4 gauge or larger that are required to be insulated, and for cables containing conductors 4 gauge or larger, the minimum dimension of a pole or junction box installed in a raceway or cable run shall comply with 314.28a1 through 314.28a3. All right, let's highlight 4 gauge and larger. Are required to be insulated, and for cables containing 4 gauge or larger, the minimum dimension of a pole box or junction box installed in a raceway or run shall comply with 314.28a1 through 314.28a3. Let's highlight that. All right. And I wanted 4 gauge and larger highlighted also. Let's get that highlighted. All right, so what that's telling us is in this rule is talking about wires 4 gauge and larger. When we're doing our box fill calculations, that was 6 gauge and smaller. But this rule, 314.28, is pertaining to wires 4 gauge and larger. So you got to keep that in mind when you're sizing pole boxes. All right, so this rule is mainly main purpose is to protect wires during wire tension on the pole when you're pulling it through your raceway, and also for when you're trying to bend the wire around the box, doing U-poles, doing angle poles, doing straight poles, pulling it out of the box, shoving it back in the box, protecting the wire from bending, and also protecting the insulation, and also protecting your knuckles from getting all toe up when you try to push it through the box and pull it out of the box. So that's what this code rule is pertaining to. All right, let's continue. Where an enclosure dimension is to be calculated based on diameter of entering raceways, the diameter shall be the metric designator, the trade size, expressed in the units of measurement employed. So that's telling us that the trade size raceway that is entering the box is what our calculations are going to be based on. So let's go ahead and let's just highlight dimensions is to be calculated based on the diameter of the entering raceways. All right, so that's really telling us what our calculations are based on. All right, so let's move on to 314.28 A1, straight poles. Let's go ahead and highlight straight poles. All right, and this tells us in straight poles, the length of the box or conduit body shall not be less than 8 times the metric designator of the largest raceway. So it has to be 8 times. Let's highlight that. 8 times the trade size. Let's highlight trade size. There we go. All right. So let's go to, here we go. Here's a box here. So what that's telling us is if we have a straight pole, so today we are focused on straight poles. We're going to do angle poles and U-poles on another video, but let's just focus on the straight pole today. All right, so if we had a straight pole and we were running a 4-inch raceway through it, and it doesn't matter what size wire, this calculation is based on the largest raceway entering the box and going out the other end. So for straight poles, it's the largest raceway. There's no extra raceways. In angle poles and U-poles, there's going to be some calculations that we'll get into, but in straight poles, it is based on the largest raceway on that side being pulled through. So say we got a 4-inch raceway here. All we have to do is 4 times 8. So 4 times 8 equals 32. So we need 32 inches of a box, a 32-inch box, to legally have a 4-inch raceway attached to it and pulling our wire straight through. All right. Let's see here. If we had a 2-inch raceway in here with the 4-inch raceway, the calculation would still be the same. It doesn't matter how many raceways we have. If it's straight poles, it's just based on the largest trade size on that box. Like I said, U-poles, angle poles, that rule changes a little bit, but for straight poles, it's just the one largest raceway. So that's nice and easy. Let's see if we have just the 2-inch in here though. All right, so what would our calculation be if we have a 2-inch raceway in here? It would be 2 times 8, and that would give us 16 inches. So we would need a 16-inch wide box to install a 2-inch raceway. And that is it. That is as easy as this rule can be. It's probably the easiest rule of all the poles, but it's also the largest multiplier. You're going to find out later on that the angle poles and U-poles are multiplied by 6. And a lot of people are going to question that, like, why is the straight pole got a higher multiplier? You're just pulling straight through. You would think that you could have a really narrow box and pull straight through. But the reason is, and I'm going to show this with some physical examples I have behind me. So I'm going to switch views and demonstrate why we have that 8-time multiplier for a straight pole. All right, so here's an example of why you want an 8-time multiplier for a straight pole. All right, a lot of time you have your junction box set, maybe reset bends. You have a long raceway and you're turning on your right at 360 for your max bends, and you need a set of J-box to reset your bends. There's a good chance, a lot of times, you're pulling, you set up your chugger here and or whatever, you're just pulling a rope and you have your wires attached to it and you're gonna pull straight out of that box. All right, so I got a 1-inch raceway here. You would think, okay, yeah, 1-inch raceway, with six inch box here, that should be plenty of space, right? Well, I got number 2s here. I got 3 number 2s that I'm pulling through this 1 inch raceway, and now I gotta pull it all the way out, and I gotta shove it back through this pipe. These wires are pretty hard to bend. Now I gotta try to bend them, loop them, push them back through there. That's gonna be pretty impossible. I'm gonna probably tear up this installation trying to do that. Once I get to the very end and I got that little loop here, trying to force that back into the box, that might not happen. I might start kinking the wires pretty hard right there. So that's why we have the 8-inch multiplier for straight pulls. All right. You can see here too, if I were to do 1.25 inches and push those same wires through, well, 1.25 times 8 would be 10 inches. This is a 12-inch box. I have plenty of room to pull that wire out and shove it back through. So it's even smart to go a little higher than the 8-inch multiplier. If you can, you know, pick a box that's stocked on the shelf at your supply house and make it easy on yourself. You'll save yourself a lot of pain, scraping your knuckles up and wrecking that wire, trying to force it through a smaller box. All right, so I just wanted to show that as a physical example so you guys could see it. And now use that rule. See if you can go in the field, try to spot some pretty tight situations, but even better, take it upon yourself, read some prints, look at some raceways that you're gonna be pulling in the field, and try to plan ahead. All right. In the next video, we are going to be covering the angle pulls. So yeah, get ready for that. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Stay sharp, never stop learning, and God bless.